So in the last class, in the last session, we have actually stopped it here. So where we are talking about different types of how the independent clauses and dependent clauses are structured and how they have to be communicated in a written form to the other person. So we talked about few of the clauses and their phrase structure. And here in this particular case, we are talking about a complex structure. The complex means usually we have one single independent clause or one dependent clause. This is a basic one. Like Ramu likes bike riding. This becomes a single basic independent clause, which has a subject, which has a verb, and which is a complete thought too. It has completed the sentence. But in complex sentence, what happens is we have one or more dependent clauses or one or more dependent clauses, or sometimes we have one or more independent clause along with one or more independent clauses. So in this particular case, we see that there is a dependent clause and there is an independent clause. And in such a case, how to handle and how the communication has to be conveyed properly to the other person. So if you see the example, because Tamil Nadu has seen severe floods, many people have stayed at home. So see here, because Tamil Nadu has seen severe floods, if we stop the sentence here, it is not a complete thought. It has to convey something because it has started something, but it has not completed it. So it is a dependent clause. And the next one is many people have stayed at home. This is a complete thought because it has a subject and it has a verb, and it has completed the sentence in full too. So when we want to connect the dependent clause with independent clause, a simple comma would work. Whereas in case of two independent clauses, we need to have comma and a coordinating conjunction. This is a basic connection between a dependent and independent clause here. So a simple comma can easily join the two, one independent clause and dependent clause in this case. So moving on to the next slide. So here it is the compound complex one. So in the previous one, we have seen one independent clause and one dependent clause. But here in this case, we see that in both of these examples, there is one dependent clause and there are two independent clauses, if you see here. So let us go through it. So join the introductory dependent clause. So here it is a dependent clause and it is starting the statement. So when we have the introductory dependent clause with two independent clause, like food is tastier and it is fresh, what we have to do? So as I said, to connect the this dependent clause with this independent clause, we just need a comma. But to connect this independent clause with this independent clause, we need a comma and a coordinating conjunction. Here in this case, it is and. So when we use MDH masala, food is tastier and it is fresh. So the thought is complete and it is conveying the proper meaning by joining the sentence in the proper way. So this has to be the case when we are joining dependent clause with independent clause and independent clause with another independent clause. And moving on to the next example here. So what happened is similar to the previous example, here also we have one dependent clause and two independent clauses. Like always use MDH masala is one independent clause and it tastes better. It is also an independent clause. It conveys the proper meaning. So, but in this case, when we want to emphasize the meaning or when we want to emphasize the second clause, because if you see this whole statement, what exactly am I communicating? I'm communicating it tastes better. But what tastes better? MDH masala is tastes better and I want people to use it. So how did I start the statement? When you are cooking, I've started in this way and I said always use MDH masala, it tastes better. So here the main gist of this main sentence is it tastes better. So I want to convey this thing. So out of these two independent clauses, the main importance meaning is in the second one. In such case, we use colon to separate two independent clauses and a comma to join two dependent and independent clause. So this is the meaning for this particular clause. And to continue with that thing, once again. So in continuing with the previous one, here in this case, if we see, what we are doing is there is again a dependent clause and which is when cooked with MDH masala. And there is another independent clause like food is tastier and fresh. Always it is tastes better. So there are two independent clause and one dependent clause. Here in this case, we are using semicolon. The reason is, in the previous one, what we did is we tried to emphasize the meaning of the second sentence. But here in this case, we are actually trying to emphasize the meaning in the first independent clause, which is food is tastier and fresh. So if we start the statement, when cooked with MDH masala, food is tastier and fresh. Always it is better to eat. So the main important part or the main segment of this whole sentence is food is tastier and fresh. To convey that meaning, I started it as when cooked with MDH masala, food is tastier and fresh. And I am just putting emphasis on the first one by continuing another independent clause, which is always it is better to eat. In such a case, we use semicolon so that we can emphasize on the first independent clause. We can focus audience attention to that thing. So in such cases also, we use semicolon, and in previous one we did use colon. So that's their importance in written communication. And now we'll see the common errors which we often observe in different places and how to correct them. We'll go through it once. So if we see the common errors here, so here it says, I like this place, comma, it is beautiful. So it seems like it is there's nothing wrong in this thing, but actually it is incorrect to say in such a way, because if we see I like this place, here there is a subject and there is a verb and it is a complete thought too. Even if I remove it is beautiful, I like this place is itself a complete. So when we have such thing, we have to put full stop. Then only we can start the next independent clause. So it cannot be easily connected with a comma. It has to be a full stop. This is the correct sentence framing of this thing. So whenever we write to any person or when we write an email or anywhere, so when we have two independent clauses, make sure that you have a full stop between there. In case if you want to connect them, what we can do, we'll see in the further examples. So the another way of properly or correctly framing it is, I like this place, semicolon, it is beautiful. So what happened here is, if you see the second statement, I like this place and it is beautiful. So the difference between the incorrect one and this particular one is that here we have just put the comma, but there is no coordinating conjunction to connect these two independent clauses. But here in this case, we have and, which is the coordinating conjunction. So when you are connecting two independent clauses, you need to have comma and a coordinating conjunction, which was lacking here. That's why it is incorrect. In this case, it is correct. And in this case also it is correct. We can use a full stop, or if you have to use a comma or connect, you can use comma and a coordinating conjunction. And this is another form of expressing it. If you see this, I like this place, it is beautiful. What am I doing is, if you see in the previous slides, sorry. Okay. So if you see this example, I like this place, it is beautiful. So what is the important part of this sentence? So it is, I like this place. So this is what I want to say. And I'm just continuing by putting emphasis on the first one. So in such case, we can use semicolon, where the second independent clause can emphasize the first one. So that is the kind of proper usage of punctuation in this case. And when we go to other example, we could also say it as, I like this place because it is beautiful. So oftentimes we see that we use comma before the because or after because, but it is not necessarily needed in this sentence. So I like this place because it is beautiful. It is a continuous thought. So there need not to be any comma here. And it can also be made, if you see these two are independent clauses. If you want to make one as dependent and another as independent, we can start it in this way. Like, because it is very beautiful, comma, I like this place. So these are the 5 different types of ways in which we can convey a thought by using the different types of punctuations.
Hey, just a quick question on this, Surya. So the first one where you have the incorrect one, right? So what is does that error have any name?
There is no connection between the clauses, Chaitanya. So basically these are two different thoughts.
Okay.
But when we want to connect them, we need to convey when we are saying it in the verbal form, the person can understand with the emotion. But in case of written form, we have to make sure that the person knows that what am I saying? Am I putting the emphasis on the first one, or what exactly am I conveying? So to make sure that we use semicolon, or if you want to connect them, you need coordinating conjunction to communicate that these two are in the same lines. That is why we have to use this thing. That's it.
Anyway, just I wanted to add also that see, that particular error is called basically comma splice, right? So you put generally two sentences together, right? Just by putting a comma in between, right? Because when you speak, people may it sort of feels all right, but in writing it is not so it's not accurate. Just wanted to mention that. So one last thing, see, I think even though we use it, so I'm really talking about the last sort of sentence, under correct, right? Because it is very beautiful. I like this place. So generally, just this is a question as well. Surya, you may want to just check this and get back.
Okay.
Which is that, so can you start, a sentence with because? Right, so I have seen sort of multiple opinions on that. You may want to just do some research and get back maybe in the next session, or like you called it in the next class.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Right. So moving on to the next slide. So these are the common errors which we see, and in continuation to that,
Surya, one more doubt.
Yeah,
the comma before and generally when we have multiple things, we will just put comma, right? Or even.
Right, that's true. So when we have multiple things which you want to convey, like for example, if I'm saying I like apples, mangoes, bananas, so these are multiple things multiple elements which I'm bringing in. To make sure the reader understands that I'm talking about different elements, we need to have a comma. But
Okay.
Here there are no multiple things. There are only two thoughts. And if we want to connect them, we need to have a conjunction. So that thing. So if we have 2 or 3, 4 sentences like I like this place because it is beautiful, it is good, it is cool, then in that case we have multiple commas. Got it, Jerem?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So further to the previous slide, here again we will see common errors like these are the feud sentences. So what exactly they mean is we often sometimes we might miss the punctuation, which leaves the sentence to communicate it as an improper thought. So it sometimes creates a problem in understanding what exactly the person is going to say. So here if you see, my friend is a mathematician. I have learned a lot from him. So there are 2 independent clauses, but there is no connection, there is no punctuation, and it is not conveying the meaning like what exactly the person is saying. My friend is a mathematician, or if we see when we are reading a sentence, what happens is sometimes we tend to slow down at some places and to fasten at some places. So it also creates a problem in understanding or reading it and getting proper gist of the meaning. So the correct way to put the above sentence is, my friend is a mathematician, full stop, because the thought has ended, and I have learned a lot from him. So this is how you are actually conveying the meaning. So similar to the previous one. And to express it in different forms, what you are saying is, my friend is a mathematician, I have learned a lot. Here also you are putting the emphasis on the first one, so use the semicolon. And in a different form, we can also use, my friend is a mathematician, comma, and I have learned a lot from him. So you have used a coordinating conjunction to it. And you can also express it as, my friend is a mathematician, semicolon, moreover, I have learned a lot from him. So these are adverbs, these are conjunctive adverbs. So these also help in putting the emphasis in the first sentence by such adverbs. They help in connecting to sentences and also putting emphasis on the first word. So that's how we can properly communicate in this thing. So but the punctuation has to be necessary either between two independent clauses or two dependent clauses, or else it leaves as a thoughts as incomplete, or that the reader might also feel like there is something incomplete or the person has not completed it properly in that way. So moving to the next slide. So now we'll try to practice certain things. We'll try to correct what are the mistakes in it, these three sentences. So if you see the first sentence here, last weekend my friend visited me and we went to a multiplex and a restaurant here. So do you see any mistakes or any improper usage of punctuations or any lack of punctuation presence here?
In the first sentence, after visited me, there should be a comma.
Okay.
And after multiplex also.
Okay. So we'll break down this sentence into parts. As Anushri stated, there has to be a comma here because we said last weekend my friend visited me. So it has a subject and it has a verb, and this thought is complete. Even if I eliminate after hold the sentence after and, this statement can stand alone. So where this is an independent statement. And let us see the second part. After the and, we went to a multiplex and a restaurant. So even if I eliminate the first sentence, it can stand alone because even it has a subject and a verb. So these are two independent clauses, and when you're connecting it, you need to have a comma and a coordinating conjunction. So comma is missing here and the coordinating conjunction is present. So let me edit. Okay. So second. So there should be a comma here after me. So that is one thing. And we need not necessarily need a comma here, Anshri, actually. So when we have multiple things explaining here, then we need to put a comma and then and, but in this case, it does not actually, because it is still a same thought.
Okay. Surya, just one more thing. Like in a sentence, can we use multiple ands? Like here in this sentence, we have to use two and we went to a multiplex and a restaurant. So can we use that or like?
Okay, so here if you see in these both ands, this and is acting as a coordinating conjunction between two independent sentences. But here in this case, these ands are acting as a connection between multiple things. So it is separating the multiple elements in a sentence. So there are two elements. Suppose in case if they have three, we need to have comma. But in this case, even though we use two ands, but their importance in the sentence are different. So we can use it in that case.
Okay.
And sometimes I think on first class I used an example where we had multiple ands, more than two ands we used it when we are expressing. Suppose if I say I went to Mumbai, which is in Maharashtra in this way, and I went to Jaipur in Rajasthan in this. If I say multiple city and their state's name, in such a case we can use and multiple ands. And moving on to the second example here. So here it says, although I am very busy, I still find time to read. So do you see can anybody see any mistakes or any improper usage of punctuation or any lack of punctuation here?
There should be a but after comma.
Okay. Okay.
I think the sentence in the current form is correct.
Okay. So actually Sai is correct. The sentence is completely correct. The reason is, although I am very busy, if I eliminate the second part, although I am very busy, what exactly is it communicating? It is not a complete thought. It has a subject and it has a verb too, but it is not a complete thought. It still needs some supporting statement to see. And if we eliminate the first one and see the second one, we still find time to read. So what exactly it is saying is it is not an independent clause. In case if both are independent clause, we need a comma and a coordinating conjunction. But because it is first one is a dependent clause, just a comma would suffice here. And we actually don't require comma after all, though. As I said, these are conjunctive adverbs or prepositional statements where they help to start the sentence. So they don't need any comma here. So they are attached to the sentence and the comma is followed after the dependent clause. So the second statement is complete thought and there is no mistake in it. It is moving on to the third one. Social studies is my favorite subject, comma, I'm certain I will get an A plus. So do you see any mistakes here? Any punctuation missing or anything?
So I am certain.
So okay.
I think we can have a semicolon instead of the comma after the subject.
Okay. Next.
Can we have a full stop in place of the comma after the subject?
Right. Okay. So
You need a full stop at the end.
yeah, that's for sure. Yes. And yeah, anything else?
I'm not sure if we can like use full stop between those two because the second statement we don't know in what you're going to get A plus in.
Okay. Right. Okay.
So I think there should be some conjunction there.
Okay. So the proper answer is actually, as I said in the previous example, a sentence can be put in multiple ways by using appropriate punctuations. So social studies is my favorite subject. It can stand alone, definitely, because it is a complete thought, has a subject and a verb. And the second preceding statement is, the next statement is, I am certain I will get an A plus. Even this is conveying the proper thought. But what exactly the main sentence here is, I am more focusing on the second one. The emphasis is being put on certain. What I want to convey is, I am certain I will get an A plus in social studies. So this is the thing which I want to convey. So the emphasis is on the second one. In such cases, we cannot use semicolon, we can use colon instead. In case if we want to put emphasis on first sentence, we put semicolon, but in this case, we can put colon and explicit. That would become a complete thought. And another way of putting it is, after subject, comma, we can put so, or we can also put and. Like for example, social studies is my favorite subject and I am certain I will get an A plus. You can also say social studies is my favorite subject. So I am certain I will get an A plus. After A plus, we'll have a full stop. So in this way, we can use it. So there are two coordinating conjunctions which fit here. And there is a colon also, which could help here in putting the emphasis on the second statement. So this is the right way of putting it actually. So good. So I'll move on to the next slide here. So now I'm talking about a complete new topic now. It is apostrophe. So apostrophe is this is the symbol apostrophe which we use, and the three primary uses or the three wide uses where apostrophe helps us in conveying proper meaning is to form possessives of nouns. So the possessives of nouns means suppose Ram is a person, is a noun, Sita is a noun, and any particular name or any place name or anything. So when we want to show the possessives of noun, like for example, this shoes belongs to Ram, it says that Ram's shoes. So in such cases, we use apostrophe to show the possessiveness of the belongingness of that particular thing to that person. And the second way of using apostrophe is to show omission of letters. So we often see that in many novels or any textbooks we skip some certain letters. Like for example, here in this case, do not is actually the word, but we use it as don't. So to convey the meaning that we want to communicate to the other person that it is do not, so we just put apostrophe here. In case of I am, we are saying am. So there also an apostrophe helps in conveying the meaning. And the third one is to indicate certain plurals. Like for example, we say 1970s, 1960s, 1980s. Simply by putting comma, we could understand that it is of preceding year, because 2060 has not yet happened. It conveys that it is 1960s. When we already brought the topic in any paragraph or in any sentence about that particular century, from next time we can simply use the apostrophe to indicate the plurals. So these are the three primary usages of apostrophe, and we'll see the examples of how exactly it is put in there. So the first common usage is forming possessives of nouns. So if you see here, the boy's hat is equal to hat of the boy. The both are actually conveying the meaning. So the boy's hat, this hat belongs to the boy. It can be conveyed in the way like the boy's hat, or one week's journey. In case it is also said as journey of 1 week. To convey it in different structure or form, we say it as, we put apostrophe to properly frame it. And remember that apostrophe might not be needed if we are if there is a building or an object or any piece of furniture or anything immediately after the off. If we see the example in the above example, hat of the boy is called as boy's hat, but here in this it is an object. So it says room of the hotel. We cannot say it as hotel's room, because it is a building, and both together, the whole element together forms as a complete object. So we can simply say it as hotel room. We cannot say hotel's room. And even in the case of tire of the car, so we call it as car tire, not car's tire. Here in this case, because on how exactly can we understand this thing is, so when we are using car, hotel room or car tire, just try to put this thing in the first form, room of the hotel. And if you see immediately after the noun, after the noun is building or any object or any piece of furniture, then in that case you cannot use the apostrophe for this particular element. If you see the third example also, leg of the table, it has to be called as table leg, not table's leg. So that would convey the improper meaning here. So this is the primary usage of apostrophe in this particular place. And
I think we should say room in a hotel, isn't it?
yeah, we can also say room in a hotel. That would also become right, Chaitanya. But it cannot be hotel's room because it is a building.
Because it's not a person, right? So that's what you're saying.
It is not a person.
Okay.
Yes.